Well, Elmer, here we are again.
We
Welcome. Good to see you.
Good to be back. It's been a while.
It's great to be with you. Yeah, we've been. There's a little bit of a gap between our recent episodes, so maybe we'll do a little bit better in keeping them more regular.
Yeah, we like to be more consistent.
Once a week.
Something like that, and our audience expect it from us, and we don't want to disappoint them.
Yeah, I just want to say how I am proud of both of us for having started this. We got together. I said, "Well, I'm going to start a podcast," and you go, "Well, if you're going to start a podcast, I'm going to start one."
So we decided to do it together.
And
Became podcast partners.
the reason we're here is because you said that. Because it takes a little courage. Took a lot of courage for me to put my face in front of a bunch of people and say, "Hello, we're going to have a conservative conversation, taking back the language to try to bring the truth back to how we communicate with each other."
Now, as for me, I love cameras.
Yeah.
I like to be out there, and so I didn't have that reservation. Maybe I should have had more, but it wasn't there. Just give me a mic and give me a camera, and we can refine what I have said after I've finished, but stay ready.
That's cool. Yeah. Well,
It makes us good partners.
it does because your fearlessness with the camera compared to my fearfulness about being out there, the balance is great. It's helped me to do this, and then I've been able to employ some of my background in technical skills to be able to figure out how to make this work and figure out what software to use.
Yes.
What software to use and how to set the cameras up, get some hardware to make films. Anyway, it's been interesting, and I appreciate that. We were motivated to tell the truth. What we believe, Elmer and I, is that we live in an ecosystem or a media system where people are incentivized to create fear, to instill trepidation and divisiveness with their messages, because they discovered the more you stir people up, the more you get them fearful, and then of course from there you get them angry. Boy, they're a lot more engaged, and they spend more money on the products, and they stay on those channels longer.
And when that happens, they can control their audiences. They can do that. The ones who are listening will believe what they hear so long after they have heard it over and over again that they'll think it's true, and our society becomes spoiled and ruined and deteriorated. So we have to take a stand for that which we believe and know, and that which was necessary to make our country as strong as it is.
I totally agree with what you're saying. I'm grateful for what you're saying, because I think people need to hear this and start to think about it, because they're watching all of this information, and it does get repeated ad nauseum. You watch one channel and then you see another channel and another channel, and they're virtually mimicking one and the other. They're saying the same things. Oftentimes in this climate, you hear the president or the Secretary of Defense or the Secretary of Homeland Security making a statement about something, and they're all, not always, but oftentimes saying the same lie. Or maybe they're telling a slightly different lie, but they're all lying, which is really interesting, that they keep going,
In real life, and with the audience that we have to share our perspective on what we hear globally, because there are more regular routine people, citizens, than there are those in position where they decide what's accepted and what will change depending on which channel that you have your TV on. So, and that's a concern of us.
Yeah.
Mark and I are representing the regular people.
What is a regular person, Elmer?
Regular person is one who is not framed, he's not controlled by the product that he's selling. He's telling the truth based on that which the country found, that which has stood the test of time over the centuries,
Hmm.
from his faith to the basic elements of democracy for which our country was founded, that
Yeah.
which has worked over the years.
So we live in a world now where the absolute richest people in the entire planet, on the planet, the richest people who've ever lived as human beings, with the most control, the most access to technology to be able to determine how to deliver information, to promote ideas, and to control the rest of us, as you put it, regular people. And it is up to us, the regular people, to wrest back the control from those folks. They've gotten a special privilege. They've gotten special privileges from our current administration
That is great.
that have totally favored them. So on January 20th of last year, 2025, those people who were behind Trump on that stage actually have doubled their net worth, and they were already, there was a group of five or six of them.
Beginning.
5 or 6 of them had a collective net worth of $1 trillion. That's 1,000 billion, and now they have 2,000 billion. They have more wealth than the bottom, 93% of the country in that small group, and they have the power of the technology. They're selling the products. They're selling, building and the electric cars. In the instance of Elon Musk, he owns, Starlink, Neuralink, Tesla,
On and on.
and all of these things are designed and collected together as a power device to control the people in the country.
Anybody with that much money in the position that they are in are dangerous to the extent that our thinking, the regular people, the user person, is controlled because we're concerned about our survival.
Yeah.
And they unintentionally or intentionally serve as a threat. That's dangerous, Mark.
I think intent is there. I mean, I think if you look at all of the things that Elon Musk has said over his evolution as a human being from his early days as a South African, and I think it's an important little side note here to think about it. Trump saying, "I don't want any foreign parts in any of my stuff." It's like, well, wait a minute, Mr. Trump, you're half Scotland. Your mother was born in Scotland, um, you know, and your best buddy is a South African, Mr. Musk, and they allowed Elon Musk to buy this last election. And then they gave him the keys to the kingdom in a way that has never, ever been done, or even close to having been done. No one thought that it could be done because the Congress, the Senate would object, the Supreme Court would stand up behind it, and all of the people would say, no, 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 hell no. You cannot have you cannot have my social security information. You cannot have all of my personal data.
He was leading that way to
We would have all
personal
said,
information.
and through incredible, just incredible hubris and just entitlement, Trump said, "Yeah, go ahead, Elon. You can do whatever you want. You bought the election for me. Thank you so much, and I'll be happy to help make you rich as long as you make me rich at the same time. And we'll call this thing Dodge. Oh, Doji. What is
I
it?
believe it, Doge.
Oh, Doge. Yeah, Doge. It sounds so eloquent. Well, basically, what they did was they went in and they gutted all of the institutions that were investigating Elon Musk for illegal doings, and
Start laying off
that's
people.
why he chopped up the USAID, which was our best, if you will, propaganda vehicle for the United States to because we were actually promoting goodwill around the world using that. And people were saying, oh man, oh, box made from America. Thank you, United
Okay.
States of America, for sending me some food, some shelter, some clothing, some education, some water, clean water. All these things that all of that the institution was doing, you just came with a wrecking ball, knocked it down.
Chainsaw.
Yes, thank you very much for the.
You never forget that.
Yeah, literally a chainsaw. He was up there with that chainsaw on the stage demonstrating how he's going to chop everything. And if you'll recall, the promise was, and the reason that people were sold on that bill of goods was that they were going to save us a tremendous amount of taxpayer dollars and make the government much more efficient. The Department of Government Efficiency is what
The acronym.
what the acronym
Goes.
stands for.
Right.
And the absolute opposite is exactly what has occurred. Every attribute now of the government is less efficient as the Trump administration puts everything up for sale and steals our hard-earned taxpayer dollars from us to give gifts to I don't know, Saudi Arabia, bin Salman, the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, the Qataris. Oh, hey, how about a $400 million jet as just a little token of your appreciation for my presidency? Totally in violation of our Constitution and any ethics and principles that every single other president of the United States has always adhered to. Trump's just like, means nothing to me. Nothing.
We have to be reminded of what he did with the White House, with this extension, this party room.
Yeah. Oh, how about let's I have a proposal for the people of the United States. How do you all feel about possibly redecorating the White House and just ripping off the East Wing? Nobody asked us, did they?
I don't think he mentioned that during this campaign.
No, or any time. There was never a request to Congress. It's illegal for him to have done that. And it's a desecration of one of our great monumental institutions that, serves as an icon for the good ideals, the great ideals of the United States.
I agree.
All the work and the effort that people have made over the centuries. We almost made it to 250 years without a dictatorship, but now that is exactly what we have, Elmer.
We're on our way to the anniversary of a quarter of 1,000 years. Mathematically, a quarter of 1,000 years that come up this year. July the 4th, I think the date is.
That sounds pretty substantial. It sounds bigger than 250.
A quarter of 1,000.
Yeah, quarter of 1,000. That's right. 25% of 1,000 years of successful democracy. I think we may hold a record as a country having the longest held democracy. Is that true?
We'll see. We hope we can make it to July 4th.
Well, I think we have lost our democracy, quite honestly. I think that the damage that has been done by Elon Musk giving all these young punks access to, and possibly now, but it's not clearly known and reported on, did they just take all the data, or did they also put in a backdoor access to have access to everything coming into the federal government from now on, so they can analyze, utilize, and weaponize our own information against us to control us and make us think and believe things that are absolutely hogwash.
We may not know the damage that he did that short period of time while he was there. And when he and Trump clashed, we thought we wouldn't see him again. And a few weeks later, we saw him at a memorial service. They made up again.
Yeah.
Can't forget that.
It's nice that the bros got back together there because, the dynamic duo, Trump and Musk, they can do a lot more damage, working in tandem. And then you can see now that Sergey Brin, I don't know if you know who that is.
Not familiar with him.
Sergey Brin is the partner with Larry Page. The two of them started a little, fairly well-known service that we call Google.
Okay.
He's worth roughly, according to recent estimates from Bloomberg, 244.6 billion with a B dollars. One guy. Larry Page, I'm sure, is worth one. So he's like right up there with, you know, all these other heavy duty ultra billionaires, you know, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Page, his partner, Brin's partner, is what I'm saying, in Google. And, you know, Elon Musk, and I think I mentioned Jeff Bezos, but yeah, he's got Jeff Bezos has Amazon Web Service, which is one of the major data holding collection systems for the United States government, has been for some time. And then in addition to that, now we've got Elon Musk with his satellites. 70,000, I heard last.
Information on us is out there.
Yeah. So we have to do everything that we can to elect people, and that's one of the things that we have agreed to talk about today, was the recent elections. Because what we found is that, you know, we have a war with Iran right now, and that's as a result of having voted for this guy who
In the
has
primary.
he has started more wars than any president ever in the history of our country. In this last year, since January 20th of last year, now today is March the 12th.
This is the 12th.
Yeah, March 12th of 26.
Yeah.
And so the people that didn't vote, and this is one of the things that's getting me, is that most people, Republicans and Democrats both, did not vote in this midterm election primary. Now we have the major,
What does our record show the percentage of the voters in the primary? What was it there?
Well, the total number of people that voted in our county,
Garland County, Arkansas.
25.12%, which was an increase from the previous primary in 2024, voted. That means 25% of the people are controlling your destiny. Now, if you voted, you could say, well, I'm part of getting, you know, what I wanted to have happen, you know, because I voted. I'm exercising my power. People really need to understand that, folks, if you don't vote, you don't have anything to complain about. You just get whatever BS they're serving.
Whatever's coming to you.
Yeah, whatever's coming to you, and a lot is coming to you. War with Iran. Well, let's see. I'm pretty sure we're fighting the war with Iran for. Let's see. They're going to imminently attack us with missiles. Mm-hmm. Oh wait, that's actually 10 years out. Probably not that. Oh, they were working on their nuclear plan, but actually we're right in the middle of negotiations where they were actually agreeing, and the Ayatollah who they executed in the first day or two of the war was actually had a religious fatwa against the development of any further nuclear weaponry. They were wanting to advance their nuclear power. But now I'm sure that if there were any pauses in their nuclear weapon development, they're going, folks, put the pedal to the metal. Let's get our nuclear weapons in place as fast as we possibly can, or the United States of America and the Israeli allies are going to annihilate us.
We have already lost some lives in this short period of time of Americans. We see it coming back on TV, and school has been bombed, and children's lives have been destroyed along with the teachers. It makes you not want to think about it, but by not thinking about it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
That's one of the effects of our vote. If you didn't vote, or if you voted for Trump, or even if you voted for someone else like I did, I still feel some responsibility. But when you ask the president, it's like, Mr. President, what about the bombing of the girls' school? It looks like evidence indicates that the United States was probably responsible. I don't know. Oh, I don't know anything about it. I'll have to look into that. Oh, they're investigating that.
They don't keep very good records.
Oh well, people have determined that it was very likely that the United States did it. Oh yeah. I don't think so. I think it was the Iranians that bombed the school. Okay. Next question. Mr. President, a few days later, um, the Pentagon has investigated the bombing of the girls' school where they killed all those children and their teachers. 165 rough estimate of number of people that died there. What do you think about that? Trump says, I don't know anything about it.
It's war. It may
So,
happen.
yeah, oh yeah, that's another thing he said. Yeah, it may happen. Yeah, somebody might get killed in a war, but it's not a war. It's just an excursion.
Discretion. Which is it? Then
Yeah,
it's a war for them. It's spread for us. We'll see. The rambles becomes very loose, and then it rambles again, and we'll see. We'll see how it develops.
yeah.
We took care of him in the last during the first hour, and we wiped him out.
Yeah,
It's really over.
yeah. It's really over, except it's not over, and I don't know when it's going to be over. But I think there's a good reason for fighting the war. But the main thing is it's really helping Donald Trump avoid the scrutiny of us every day talking about his deep, deep friendship with the serial criminal, sex offender, international
Right.
monster of a guy, Jeff Epstein, his good buddy for many decades, for a couple of decades at least.
He's definitely controlling the media to this extent.
Yeah, we're not supposed to talk about the fact that our president is a rapist. He raped and violated girls, underage girls. It's a fact. It's been well known for many, many years, long before the Congress, the Senate passed a law unanimously, with one exception out of the 535 representatives in our Congress. One guy voted to not release the Epstein files. The rest of the guys voted to make a law.
Mark, the more I think about this, he said something that someone has puzzled me recently. He did not want to see Bill Clinton come forward to tell the truth. It bothered me to the extent that did that set him really up for someday, if he's living, that he's going to have to come forward? He wanted to protect the past president to the extent that you don't bring us up in matters like this. Bill seemed to have loved the camera as much as I do.
Yeah.
He enjoyed coming forward.
Oh yeah. Bill's definitely a camera hog. Like
he loved it.
Well,
he enjoyed it.
I can remember telling people back in 2015, prior to the 2016 election when Trump was in there, and I said, I'm pretty sure that Bill and Donald were on the Epstein plane together.
Even back then.
Back then, that was
Bill loved luxury. He did. He really did.
Yeah, and he loved. Well, what does Trump say? Oh, he loves beautiful women. Some of them are on the younger side. He was referencing Epstein when he made that comment. Of course, how would he know that? Because he didn't even know Epstein, really. I mean, what? Anyway, so now they're about to dig up some corpses at the Zorro Ranch in New Mexico, owned by Jeffrey Epstein.
Wow.
And I'm surprised that they didn't get around that a little bit sooner. There was a lot of government interference. Let's see, who was in the White House? Oh, Donald Trump in his first term told him in New Mexico, because the state was investigating accusations of rape, torture, and murder.
Okay.
They raped, tortured, and murdered girls at the Zorro Ranch. I'm sure they're going to find some corpses out there, or unless they're not trying too hard, because actually Trump's the president now. So it's like, oh, we found a corpse. No. Don't tell anybody that. Just, pretend there was nothing there, Yeah, oh, the cadaver dogs. Oh, they probably found an old possum or something.
Yeah, very.
They're going to do everything in their power to continue to try to cover up this obvious. It's so obvious, it's plain as the nose on your face. It's like, oh, was Trump convicted of 17 counts of tax evasion and tax fraud in the Manhattan courts by the DA and a jury of his peers. Charged on 17 counts, convicted on all 17. No problem. Guy got reelected to another term. 34 counts of, election interference and election fraud. Charged on 34 counts, convicted on 100% of all 34 of those counts.
He's still serving as president.
No big deal. The guy fomented and actually presided over, more or less. I know he was sitting in this White House because the Secret Service didn't want to take him down to the Capitol to join in with the protesters on January 6, 2021. As he said he would be there. I'll be there with you.
That morning, yes.
But he encouraged all of those people to get out there and just do what needed to be done.
Patriots, never forget that term.
Yeah, the Patriots on a little, what was that, a tourist tour of the Capitol. They couldn't get in, so they smashed down the barriers, knocked the shit out of the police, bear sprayed them, smashed all the windows, got into the building, defecated, pissed, tore up offices, screamed and yelled, took in a Confederate flag,
Threatening the life of the vice president was still there.
Hang Mike Pence. Hang Mike Pence.
It became a song immediately.
Yeah. And they didn't hang him, thank goodness. And Pence had the temerity, he had the courage, he had the willingness to follow the constitutional obligation to conduct the vote count, and found, of course, that Joe Biden, who literally actually won the election, that he would be.
Pence will be known for that as long as he lives.
That was the best thing he ever did in his entire life.
He followed strongly. I have respect for him for that.
I was impressed.
That stands out strong in my mind for him.
I was impressed and grateful. I mean, we owe the survival of what we have had up to this moment in time of our democracy, which was a great idea and a great practice for nearly 250 years. And now you and I, our allies, we the people, are going to get this country back.
I'm looking forward to July
We
4th.
are getting it back. Yes.
I'll be doing all I can.
So there are a couple of important things that we wanted to mention here that if you get a chance, and we're going to make a link to it, I've got a list of all the senators, especially right now, because the SAVE Act is in front of them for a vote. And
Save America Act, is that the way it goes?
they call it Save America. Personally, I call it Save Republicans, especially Donald Trump,
Save
from
the
free
Parties Act.
from free and fair elections. Save the Republicans from free and fair elections. We're going to do our best to. They say it's about having ID, but everybody knows that in order to get to be a voter, you already have to be a citizen. So if you're on the rolls, you're a citizen. If you show up at the polling place, the polling place, and you present your ID, whatever it is, ID should be a college enrollment card. That should work. But they're saying in this new Save America bill, that's not going to work anymore. If you've changed your name, let's say you've gotten married recently and you're a woman, it's going to disenfranchise women. People who don't have proof of citizenship in order to be able to register to vote in the first place are there. Some estimates are between 21 and 30% of the American public does not have access to their birth certificate, and it's a pain in the butt to get it if you don't have one, and it's expensive, and so it disenfranchises poor people of unusual circumstances. Maybe the place they were born, the courthouse burned down and his records are gone. Who knows? But a lot of things could have happened. But what doesn't happen, Elmer? Voter fraud.
Voter fraud.
It doesn't exist.
Voter fraud.
There's so few exceptions. It proves the rule. It's a 1.1000% 0.0001% of votes are inaccurate. I mean, I know Vladimir Putin in Russia has done a pretty good job of keeping his power, but holding elections, but they're all sham and fraud, you know. He's just got his elbow on the scale, he's leaning on the scale, he's making sure that he gets, 80% of the vote and makes him look really good, makes him look popular.
Mark, we got a day coming up later this month. There's going to be a demonstration throughout America. I believe it's the last weekend. We can participate in that.
What I have written down is March the 28th.
I think that's the date.
Tell us about that.
Well, it's supposed to be the biggest that we've had yet, and we look forward to people letting the President of the United States, Senate, Congress, and everybody in a political position know just exactly how we feel about the president and the party, and get out and make it known that although we're nearing the 250th anniversary of our country, that we do not need a king, and we are voting against a king with our demonstration.
Yeah. No kings and no dictators.
No kings, no dictators.
Yeah, I'm in favor of changing the language. No dictators, because a king could possibly be benevolent and somebody you kind of like, and they might take care of you.
I've heard some people say that they could have some good kings.
Yeah.
I don't think Trump would be a good king.
Yeah, and just dictators generally don't have a great reputation as being benevolent or caring about the people. They've got their malignant narcissistic intentions in place, and that's what they deliver to everyone. That's what Trump does. I wanted to go back to my Save America Act, which again save Republicans from free and fair elections, especially
right.
Trump.
That's what it means.
It is time to call your senators and tell them, or you can call everybody's. There's only 100 senators. You could call them all and tell every single one of them you really have some priorities here. We don't want to save anybody from free and fair elections. We want to have free and fair elections.
That's right.
We want our votes to count. We want everybody's vote to count. We don't want to have people being effectively disenfranchised from being able to vote. We want to make it possible for everybody who can vote to vote.
Can't talk in line, can't have a drink of water in line, can't wear certain clothes in line, can't be black in line, can't be in line if your ancestors don't look like the President of the United States. We want free and fair elections.
You bet we do. We sure as heck do. And I want to point out something that's really amazing about what's going on. I know there's a lot of people out here who have been sold this incredible, for me, unbelievable bill of goods that it was necessary to go to war with Iran. And also this is done by the president who promised and promised and promised over and over again during the campaign season, I'm not going to take us to war. I'm not going to be a war president. I'm never going to do that. And my main priority is to get inflation down and to make America safe again. And this war is the most disruptive event that has ever occurred in the world of oil. So it is going to cause more and more inflation at a rapid pace unlike we've ever seen before.
And we haven't been in a month yet.
No, we haven't. The war's only, a week and a half old now, or is it 10 or 12?
About 10 or 12 days.
Yeah. Yeah, today's the 12th. Yeah.
I believe it's 9 days now.
Yep, it started early Saturday morning, Saturday before last, and today's Thursday, so, isn't it? Yeah, today's Thursday. Yep. So yeah, in 2 days it'll be 2 weeks that the war will have occurred, and they're blocking the Strait of Hormuz, which is responsible for transporting 20 million barrels of oil a day. The European International Energy Agency agreed to release, I think it was 400 million barrels of oil, which is 20 days worth of the blocked oil coming out of the Strait of Hormuz. And what's also really important here, Elmer, I think it's worth discussing too, is that the reason that the Iranians have had such great success in targeting some of the less obvious and well-known targets.
Over the years.
No, during this war, in the last 12
Just
days.
recently.
Just
okay.
in this last 12 days.
Okay.
The reason they've been so successful is because our favorite ally, no wait, not our ally, but allies of the Iranians, but seems like it's Trump's ally for sure, but not the United States ally. Russia, Vladimir Putin, has been providing information for targeting to help the Iranians. And there's been a real back and forth of exchange of drone technology and information from Iran. Initially, they were the ones that were supplying most of the drones for Russia to use to attack Ukraine.
Okay.
And then they traded some of the technology, and then the Russians have upgraded some of the Iranian technology, and now they're using the upgraded technology to fight against the Ukrainians, and also they're using that same exact technology to attack the Iranians are using it to attack the other Gulf countries. Not that they're attacking the Gulf countries because they're trying to hurt the Gulf countries specifically. They're trying to degrade the combating power of the United States of America by attacking infrastructure like oil refining sites. They've hit a lot of radar sites from the United States, integral to operating our interceptors, and you can see that the graph showing a 25% success rate for the stuff that's been launched from Iran. So the important thing is the Russians are helping the Iranians, and they're using these drones with great efficacy, and we're going to run out of Patriot anti-missiles. What are those things? They're something like between $2 and $4 million a piece, fighting these drones that are somewhere between $2,500 and $20,000 a piece. So the Iranians been buying and stocking these things up, even though they've been selling a bunch of them to the Russians. The Russians have been paying them, and they keep building more. So between the Russians and the Iranians, they've built up this tremendous cache of weaponry. So what did Trump do? He said, well, Vladimir, I see that we've got all these sanctions on your oil, but man, if you could sell your oil out into the world, that would help me politically. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to drop all the sanctions on Russian oil. Okay. You can sell your oil willy-nilly to the rest of the world, and try not to mention a lot that you're really helping our enemy fight us and kill American soldiers or wreck American equipment. And yeah. So I don't know. What's your perspective on that?
I'm waiting to hear Trump say, "We'll see." And when he runs up against the wall, he says, "We'll see." Over and over again, when he acts like everything's going on around him that he doesn't know about, he'll just say, "We'll see." So what we have to do too is just wait and see. We'll see what he's going to do next.
Yeah. So I think one of the key highlights that I would like to leave everybody with today is that we need to vote, and we need to vote for Democrats, even if you're a Republican or an independent right now, because the Republican Party has totally abdicated, since they have a majority in both the House of Representatives and the Senate right now. For those of you who may not know that keeps the Democrats from being able to push back against the illegal behavior of the president. And apparently the Republicans are all willing to go along with whatever Donald Trump says he wants to do, no matter how much it violates the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the United States of America, and or any other laws under the United States of America. They're just going along with everything. So you got to vote for Democrats now. It's our
Gotta vote
only
for
chance of
Democrats.
surviving the democracy. We are powerful because we can vote. That's one thing that we still have left of our democracy, but this may be our last opportunity to vote in November of this year. This could do it for us, because Donald Trump really doesn't want us to have an election. He's doing everything he can to try to steal back the power of the elections, which belong to the 50 states of the Union, to run the elections. It's in the Constitution.
It's there.
It says very clearly, the states run the elections. He's trying to take it back to federal control, even though it never existed in federal control.
He clearly said, and I talked to chairman of the election commission, that there have always been rumors, and he said to me, the scripture points out that there have been rumors, but there will always be fair and free election. But the day could come, Mark, when our elections are not fair and free. We must get out and register people to vote and vote ourselves.
Yeah,
Do it.
I totally agree. I just want to mention one more thing quickly here. We lost a good Democratic fighter, a democracy fighter, not the large D, the small D democracy fighter. His name was Lee Crawford.
Lee Crawford.
He was a friend of ours. He was an advocate. He was a participant in the democratic process, and he was a leader, and he will be missed.
He was a member of Toastmasters, and he was making considerable progress in Toastmastering. We will miss him.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thank you.
See you soon.